Just take a look at this board that I'm with here. This is a physical Arduino board. If you look at this board, this is a clone board because I say that this is an open source platform. So this board that I'm holding here is not the original Arduino board because the original Arduino board has Arduino Uno on it. But if you look at this one that I'm with here, you will see they just wrote only Uno. So this is an open source platform that anybody can go to Arduino website and build upon their circuit board. But this is not what we are here to discuss about. We are just here to discuss the details on the board, the pinout, all these things that you are seeing, what they do. That's what we are here to discuss about. So I will put out a picture on the screen showing you the write-up, the details, pinpointing all the whole components on this board and their description, and just tell you a little bit of it. Like if you see the DC jack, that is where we put our input if we want to power this Arduino board externally without using the USB. We can plug in our DC voltage from that DC jack, and it accepts 7 to 12 volts. And also by the side of that DC jack, you see a regulator. This is what regulates the voltage that the microcontroller accepts. So if you plug in 12 volts, it will regulate it to 5 volts, which the microcontroller is operating on. And the other one is the USB port. The whole description is here, so there is no need of me talking too much about it. But what I want to point out is this pin that they wrote MOSI, MISO, reset, SCK. Yes, those pins are what I want to talk about. So I drew this on a paper to explain this whole thing so that you guys will understand it. Because if I decide to put it on the screen, you might not get what I'm trying to explain. So I decided to draw it on a paper sheet to explain it. Like I said, this board that you are seeing in this terminal that you are seeing in Arduino board, this consists of a header port, and this port is mainly used for programming, just like a external programmer. So you can use this Arduino board as a programmer to program external ATMega, this type of ATMega chip. If you want to program or burn a bootloader, which I'm going to also touch in this course. I'm going to teach you guys how to use this board to burn a bootloader on a newly purchased ATMega. So if you want to burn a bootloader, or you want to program an external ATMega microcontroller without putting it inside this Arduino board, this is where you do the whole connection. This is the VCC, this is the reset, this is the SCK, this is the MISO, this is MOSI, this is the ground. I'm going to explain this the full meaning of this MISO. This stands for master in, slave out. This MI stands for master in, this SO stands for slave out, while this one stands for master out, slave in. And this one is SK. This SK simply means serial clock. That's what this SK simply means, serial clock. Why this is the ground and the VCC. You will understand all this whole better when we start using it to program external microcontroller or burn a bootloader. That's when you understand it. Then coming to this aspect, you can also find this in the Arduino board. So I'm going to explain it. This is the reset pin. So once you apply a positive voltage in this port, you will reset this Arduino board. Likewise, you can use this button here. You see where a button is in Arduino board. You see this reset button. So once you press this button, a positive voltage will go into the pin of this ATMega and it will reset the whole system. So you can do it by the pressing of the button, or you can put in external power to reset it. While this one is 3.3 volts, if you want to get a 3.3 volts output from this pin, this is where you take it out. And this is a 5 volts output from the board. And this is VIN. This VIN is if you want to put in, if you can power this Arduino board through this port or through this jack here. So that is it. That is the reason why I drew this thing on the paper to explain it better. So if you want to power this board, you can use this pin where they say the VIN to power the board, but make sure it won't exceed more than the rated voltage. And this is the analog pin. Like I said, this is the I2 square port, which stands for integrated circuit. So that is the meaning of this I2C, integrated circuit. And this is the SD. This is serial data, while this is the serial clock. So you will see all these function, what they do when we proceed in this course. So this is the transmitter LED, the receiver LED. Once you are transmitting using this port, this pin 1 and pin 2, to transmit through Bluetooth or any other thing that uses this transmitter port or receiver port, you will see the indication. Then this one is the board LED. Once you are programming the board, this LED will blink and is connected to this pin 13. So once you are burning anything inside the microcontroller, this LED will be blinking. So that is it. This is the crystal, right? This is another ATMega. This microcontroller here is responsible for burning in, as in transferring the code that you are burning from the IDE to the board. This is the microcontroller that is responsible for it, right? All right. So that's all I could say for this board for now. Any other thing will be added on. So another thing is that if you don't want to make use of those header pins in programming the external microcontroller, you can use the digital pin. You will see where they label it on a digital pin, just as they label it on the header pin in the in the Arduino board. So if you don't want to use the header pin in the Arduino board, just make use of the digital pin where they label it, the MISO, MOSI, SS, which stands for slave select, and the SCK. So you can make use of those pins. And these pins are where you will see where they write this symbol. You will see a symbol on the digital pin. Those pin that you see those symbol is known as the PWM pin. So I'm going to talk more about the PWM, but I'm just trying to tell you that whenever you see those symbol on that digital pin, know that that particular pin is mainly used, or is not mainly used. You can use it for PWM, or you can use it as normal digital pin.